Alright folks, and welcome to the channel. And as you can see, we've got the table out. So that means only one thing. We're going to be changing some strings on one of the fiddles. So in this video, we're going to check out some skull strings. Yeah, checking out some skull strings, or some strings from skull strings, whatever. Now, I'm blaming Pat Garrett at
Graves of the Innocent
and Derryl Vi for this video. It's all their fault. I'm blaming them. It's all your fault. You, Pat.
You and George.
It's all your fault. Yeah, Pat Garrett and Derryl Vi. I'll leave links down to their channels in the description. They use these strings a lot, and I think both of them actually are actually artists for skull strings. So hopefully if this video goes okay, you never know. I hope you're watching, Gwen. Yeah. So Lisa got me these as a bit of a surprise gift. Like I say, I've been looking at them for a good long while. Unfortunately, there's no distributors here in the UK, so you have to buy them off the website. So I will leave a link to the Skull Strings website down in the description as well. So these are 10-52s, and according to the sticker on the front,
They're louder and they last longer.
and according to the back, these are perfect gauge and optimal tension for extreme music. Cool. Now it's saying for the 10-52s, it's mainly for drop D, but I'm going to be putting them in D standard. So all 6 strings are going to be tuned one step down, so it's D to D. And the fiddle that we're going to be changing these strings on is my Solar A2.6. So just plonk that there a second. Got all the tools ready: string cutters, winders, fret erasers, and lemon oil, and some wipes just to wipe the body down with it not being a shiny body. So we'll dive down and get these bad boys changed. Right, so we've got the guitar all ready to be done, so I'll get these old strings off, and oh, beautiful. Yeah, like I said, get these old strings off. We'll speed this part up, get it all cleaned up, and get the skull strings on. Yeah. So that's all the strings off. So now it's time to clean the frets up. Now there's a couple of 3 different ways. Well, there's many different ways you can do this. You can either use fret erasers, some really fine grain wire wool, some fine grain sandpaper, although I don't always recommend that. Yeah, either of these will do. All you do with either of them, you gently wipe over the frets, just getting all that gunk off. Making your frets all nice and shiny. So I'll crack on with this, and then we'll be back in a moment. So that's all the frets all nicely cleaned up, all the fret wires. Put some lemon oil on just to clean the actual fretboard itself up. Now you don't have to do this every time you change strings. You only have to really do it once a year. Some people only do it every couple of years. It's all down to personal preference. I usually do it about once a year, give or take, or unless the fretboard looks like it really needs it. So while that's soaking in, because this is not a finished top, it's like a natural sort of dye finish. You don't really want to be using sort of guitar body polish. I just use some surface wipes just to get all the dust off and just clean it all up. So I've cleaned all the body down, give everything a good wipe down. The lemon oil's had time to soak in a little bit, so I'll get all that cleaned off. Look at that lovely polished and clean solar fretboard with no cracks in it. So next we'll bob the strings on. So got the strings on, everything's all tuned up, all cleaned up, all the ends, all the tatty ends tidied up there on the headstock. For this first little bit, we're going to, for this first little test, initial test, just going to use an amp save. I'm using the AHM 5050 from Audio Assault on the EL34 settings. I have got the overdrive and gauge just as, you know, the typical clean boost tube screamer settings. So let's see what these sound like. There's what they sound like. Initial thoughts on these strings. I'm quite digging them. They feel nice and smooth. Move up the up and down the fretboard pretty easy. And I like the chunkiness of that bottom E, well, what will be a bottom E, I've got it as a bottom D. I like a nice chunky flowing string, especially for the D standard tunings. So yeah, initial impressions are good. Big thumbs up from me on the initial impressions. So give it 2 or 3 weeks. I'll do some more testing. You'll probably see this. You'll have probably seen this guitar with these strings on in a few videos before this even comes out. But yeah, next test I'll do it in one of the amps, and then I'll test it again in another sort of 2 or 3 weeks. After that, in a different amp or maybe another amp, and we'll see. Yeah, I'll be back here doing these strings again in a couple of weeks, and I'll see you in a few seconds. Right, it's been a couple of seconds for you guys. It's put that back there. It's been about 3.5 weeks, maybe 4 weeks since I put these strings on. So this is roughly what they sound like after about. I've just done. You'll probably have seen this video for this JL EQ by the time this video goes. Well, you will have done. I thought, while I've got this rig set up, I'll test these strings out on this rig as well while I've got it set up. So this is what they sound like after about, I'd say about 3.5 weeks, give or take. So yeah, that's what they sound like after 2 or 3, well, yeah, 3 or 4 weeks, give or take, 3.5, 3 weeks. I'm still digging them. They still sound pretty good. They still feel good. I mean, I've had strings where after a couple of weeks you need to change them again. That's all I like to say. So far, after about 3 weeks, they seem pretty good. Give it about another 3 weeks. I'll do a final bit on this and give my final thoughts. But at the minute, big thumbs up from me. At the minute, like I say, give it another 3 or 4 weeks, see how they sound there, now they feel. And you'll have seen this guitar in a couple of videos easily before then. Well, we'll see you again in a couple of seconds. Right, folks, so yeah, it's been another 2 or 3 weeks since I did the last part. Yeah, it's been a couple of seconds for you guys. I was just trying out some IRs on the Harley Benton DNA FX, and I thought, oh yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since, a couple of 3 weeks since I last did the last part. So altogether, I think these strings been on this guitar about 7-8 weeks. It was around about the middle of July-ish when I first started doing this video, when I first put the video together. When I first changed the strings, that's it, when I first changed the strings. And we're now roughly just under halfway into September, so yeah, 7 to 8 weeks, give or take. We're not far off. So, like I say, I'm plugged into the Harley Benton DNA FX, just a random IR that I'm testing out at the minute, and we'll just play some stuff, and yeah, I'll give you my thoughts on these strings at the end. So yeah, this is some skull strings, set of skull strings. These are the 10 to 52s. What do I think about these things? Are they going to get a thumbs up, or are they going to get the finger of doom? Well, the evil wizard gives his approval, gives it a big thumbs up. Like I say, these have been on about 7 to 8 weeks now, give or take. And to me, they still feel as fresh as the day I put them on. Now, yeah, granted, I've not played this particular guitar every day since then. I've played it every week since then. Just testing stuff out, writing stuff, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I mean, there's other sets of strings that after a couple of weeks, they need changing. These still feel nice and small, still feel brand new. And would I recommend them to people? Yeah, like I say, they get the wizard's seal of approval. They may be a little bit more expensive than some others, than your sort of regular string, but yeah, I think they're worth. That little bit extra. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like I say, I love these. Will I get some more? Definitely. I'll invest in some more of these strings. I'll leave a link to the Skull Strings website down in the description. That's all for this video. I will catch you in the next one. Right folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can follow me on social media and you can get my music online, and if you want to support the channel, there's buy me a coffee and PayPal links. They're all down in the description. Click up here to subscribe and click the link down there for videos that you may not have seen. Keep it loud and keep it heavy.